Hi everyone, you should be the content teaching group. The EL teaching group should be in the front of the room with the instructor, and you should be off to the side or the back listening to this video, but still as a group. My name is Erin. I'm a co-founder of A Word With Us, the company that put together the content for this workshop. I am a content teacher. I'm licensed secondary science, and I've taught high school and middle school. Early in my career, I had a bunch of EL kids and no training. I would collaborate quite a bit with the EL lead in my building, and she was fantastic. It got to the point where we decided we should co-teach together, and our admin was really supportive of that. However, the summer before we started co-teaching, she took a job in the district as a peer coach. It was really exciting for her and a really big bummer for me. So we hired a new EL teacher who was high school experience. I taught middle school, and she'd only ever worked with pullouts. I didn't get a chance to work with her in the summertime, and in the fall I assumed it was going to be smooth sailing just because it would have been with the EL lead. However, it wasn't. I didn't set her up for success in my class. I wasn't very welcoming in ways that I should have been. Looking back, it's kind of hard to say that, but it's the truth. So this video, we're going to talk about, it can be scary to have someone else in your room, and at the same time, what can we do to make them feel welcome, to start off correctly, to avoid making that same mistake that I did. So, as a content teacher, we are used to being the ultimate decision maker in our classroom. Sure, we might have student choice and student voice at every opportunity. However, at the end of the day, when a decision has to be made, it's up to us. So letting in another adult to have that same equal power can be a little frightening. If you're used to TAs or paraprofessionals, they're super valuable. However, they don't have the ultimate decision making that teachers do. So think about coming into our rooms. You were to come into somebody else's room where they've been the boss the whole time. That's not easy, and that's what EL teachers do. And at the same time, for us, we have to give up some of that control, and that's not always easy either. So right now, if you are feeling a little uneasy, and also at the same time, a little excited about this co-teaching adventure that you're going to be on or you are on, those are both very natural feelings. So think about different questions you have or concerns that you might have about co-teaching. Maybe it's a new partner, but you have co-teaching experience. Maybe you've never co-taught before. Maybe it's the same partner, things are going well, things aren't going well. But sometimes just talking to content teachers about this topic alleviates some of our concerns, or at least makes our feelings validated. So what I want you to do is you're going to click pause on this video. You're going to find a partner, perhaps two, a group of three is fine, and you're going to talk to each other about questions or concerns that you have about co-teaching. When you have done that, you're going to press play again and we'll resume the video. Alright, so hopefully you've talked with one or two other people about questions or concerns that you might have. Maybe you feel worse. Sorry if you do. Maybe you feel better. If you feel worse, hopefully the rest of the workshop that you take today will help alleviate any of those questions or concerns that you might have. So let's think about this transition. It's not always easy to welcome somebody in. It's not always easy to go into somebody else's room. So we're going to learn from my mistakes right now, and we're going to think about how can we welcome in another EL teacher to our content and also our classroom. So something as simple as having a desk or a space for them is huge. We have a desk or a space, they need one as well. Students see these things, and already if you have a desk and a space and your co-teacher doesn't, it creates this imbalance in their eyes. And the more that we can do to present a united, equal front, the better. So where is their space going to be? Secondly, think about any paperwork that you send home. It should have both of your names on it. That again creates this equality in the family's eyes, and that's incredibly important. Your name needs to be on both mainstream and EL students' things, and the EL teacher needs to be on both mainstream and EL students' things. You don't serve half the class and they serve the half the class. These are all your kids who you both serve together. Think about conferences and open house. Both of you need to be there for families. Maybe that your EL teacher has two co-teachers, so can they have a table in the hallway or somewhere where they can be easily accessible to both you and the other content teacher they're co-teaching with, somehow that you can get a hold of them real fast so they can jump into your room and you two together can talk to any families that are in that class. The biggest one that I think is toughest for us is we need to allow them access to our previous lessons. My district uses Google Drive, so it's as easy as sharing my folders with my co-teacher. I've heard some stories about EL teachers not being granted access to any of the previous lessons. Well, they can't differentiate then. They can't be prepared to teach if they don't know what's going on. I've heard of some EL teachers only being given view-only access. Well, again, how are they supposed to feel that we are welcoming them? How are they supposed to feel equal to us if we don't allow them to change our documents? Now, hopefully, when and if they change our documents, it's during planning and we have conversations together and we understand why they might want to change that doc. But that's a professional discussion you two need to have. Sometimes I think it's hard for us to hear that somebody wants to change a lesson we did last year. We created that lesson. We are not the end-all be-all in terms of what standards we teach because we get those at the state or federal level, but we take those standards and make assignments, make activities, make projects. And if somebody comes in and says, I think we should change this, it's kind of a little kick to our ego because we did the best that we could. And no one's saying what we did previously was bad, but now we have a whole new wealth of knowledge at our fingertips. When I first started, we didn't have any real technology available to us unless we wanted to check out a computer lab. Now my school is a one-to-one. All of our kids have Chromebooks. And so my lessons have changed because I've gotten more resources. As I've become more adept at teaching EL students, my lessons have changed because I have more knowledge. My school is an AVID school. So as I do trainings with that, my lessons change because I have more knowledge in organization and WICR. So no one's saying that what we did previously was bad, but we do need to take advantage of the resources we have in front of us, which is our EL teacher. And that can be tough. So there are many more things besides a desk or space, besides both names, sharing lessons, being available at conferences and open house. And so you're going to have another discussion with a partner or, again, two people. So in a minute, click pause and discuss what are some ways that we can welcome EL teachers into both our space and our curriculum. There's no official handout for this in your participation packet, but you might want to make note of this because you're going to use it when we come back together with the EL teachers as a big group. Scratch paper, some type of electronic doc, any of that is fine. So go ahead and click pause, have that discussion when another person or two becomes available, and then click play when you're ready to listen again. So hopefully you have a great list started. Now, as you look at this list, think about things you can honestly commit to. Some things are just not going to be in your style. They're not going to be your personality, and that's okay. Because if you say you can do something, knowing full well you can't, you're not going to get off on the right foot. So as you start talking to your EL teacher about what you can and cannot do and what they can and cannot do, it needs to be judgment-free, open, and honest. And sometimes it's so much easier just to say, sure, I can do that to their face because it's easy, it's non-confrontational, but you know deep inside you that you're not going to be able to do that. Don't tell them you can. Say, I get why that's a great idea. I just don't know if I can. How about we try this instead? Offer up solutions, not just problems. So you're going to get back together with the EL group and your instructor now, and you're going to do an activity that synthesizes questions, concerns, ways that you can welcome them into your content and into your classroom to then go back together, because the rest of the workshop, you're going to be with the EL teachers, because from here on out, it really should be together. Thanks for listening.